Hello students. Today we'll be working on the skeleton. In my critical opinion, the skeleton shouldn't die from the first shot. Let's add some durability to it. Highlight the skeleton's base and create a new variable of type integer. Let's call it enemy life. Assign the value of 2 to it. Now we need to create a separate branch to handle collisions for this type of enemy. As always, we won't be writing code from scratch. We'll use the collision code for enemy number 1 as a foundation. Open the enemy collision branch. Highlight everything. Copy it to the clipboard with Ctrl C. Now create a new branch. Press Ctrl V. Name the branch Skeleton Collision. Highlight the skeleton's base. Disable the enemy collision branch in the object properties and instead connect the new one named Skeleton Collision. Now we need to ensure that the skeleton doesn't die immediately. It should only die if its life is 0. Right after registering a collision with a bullet, the first thing we should do is subtract 1 life. Build a setter and decrease the value of the enemy life variable by 1. And right after that, we need to check how much life is left. If life equals 0, then all the code following will be executed. Death, coin drops, animation, deletion. Get the gate block. Choose the operator less equal. Compare the value of the enemy life variable with 0. Now the enemy needs to be hit twice. Next step. The skeleton shouldn't fall apart like a cube. We have 4 actions for this purpose. Let's remove the debris spawn. Instead, add a play action from block. Select death number 1 from the list. Specify the frame range from 0 to 23. Remove blending. Set the speed to 0.5. Now let's deal with the object. Remember how we can specify the target object? We need the getObjectChild block. Choose the Contains mode. Highlight the rig and copy the word armature from the name. Paste it into the child name field. If we run the game, we won't see any animation. Don't be sad too soon. Look at the code. Right after we activated the animation, in the same frame, the next action is to delete the parent object, along with all its child elements. However, we need to wait for the animation to play to completion before sending the control signal for deletion. Specifically for such tasks, the Done channel exists. It triggers once, immediately after the action is finished. Let's see what we've got. 2 hits, and the skeleton dies, after which it disappears from the screen. It looks nice, but observe what happens if you continue shooting at the seemingly dead skeleton. Its torment starts anew. And if the bullets keep hitting it, it will never die. This occurs because while the animation is playing, collision checks are still happening. As soon as a new hit is registered, the action restarts, never completing. Therefore, the object is not deleted. We will have to wait again for the animation to finish and the Done channel to trigger. So, here's what we need. Once life has depleted, we must exclude this object from the list of the living to ignore it in the code chain. Let's create another variable to store the character state, alive or not. This time we need a Boolean type. Let's call it is alive. By default, the checkbox should be checked, indicating that the object is alive. Right after the life check, if life equals 0, we'll insert a setter and change the value of this variable to false. Now, right after the collision check, let's add a block from true. This is a shortened version of the gate block. It is also a check. This block checks the Boolean value and passes the signal further only if the value is true. Connect it to the getter with the isAlive variable. Now, this chain will work only if the character is alive. The problem is solved. But we immediately see two other issues. For example, after the character's life has ended and they start dying, they should not continue moving forward. This can be fixed in the skeleton move branch. At the beginning of the branch, create a check for the isAlive variable. Now the skeleton moves only if it is alive. Let's go back to the skeleton collision branch. The next problem that really bothers me is that after the character is killed, it continues to block bullets with its presence. And until it disappears from the screen, it serves as a shield for other skeletons. I want the bullets not to react to dead skeletons and pass through them. To achieve this, we can exclude the killed object from the collision array. Remember why we created the enemies folder? It is used as an array of objects to check collisions with bullets. We can simply remove the killed object from this folder, and the bullets will stop detecting it. Get the remove object from collection block. Insert it where we indicate death. Specify the enemies folder. That's better already. But I see another little problem. The second bullet, hitting the skeleton, doesn't get destroyed like the first one but, after killing the skeleton, just continues to fly further. It would be logical to destroy the second bullet as well because it inflicts damage. As for all bullets after it, they should pass through the object. To make the second bullet also disappear, we need to move the delay block by one tick from the end of the chain to here, right before the block removing from the array. This way, the last bullet will have time to register the collision and self-destruct. Now it's better. I don't see any visible problems anymore. Let's remove the cube from the render. We don't need it anymore. In the object properties, in the visibility section, uncheck the render option. It looks even better now. But let's go further. Let's add some randomness. In our library, we have 4 options for death actions. And here in the play action from block, let's organize the selection of a random action. We can't do it directly in this block, but we can connect anything we want to its action input. Let's first stuff the actions into an array. For this, we need a dynamic array and 4 action blocks. In each of them, select death actions from the first to the fourth and connect them to the array. Next, get the random choice block. Connect our array to it. And connect the result of the choice to the action channel. A bit more variety can be added by connecting a random value to the animation speed channel. It's simple. Connect the random float block there. Specify the range from 0.1 to 0.5. Now I like everything. Almost forgot something. In the skeleton collision branch, we have two places for character destruction: death from a bullet and death from an explosion. Currently, the explosion destroys skeletons using the old scheme. To quickly see the result, let's go to the box spawn branch and create a temporary spawn of a box with an explosion right at the start. Take on a net block, connect the spawn block to it, and choose the box explode. Connecting existing coordinates. Return to the skeleton collision branch. The same scheme needs to be organized. At the beginning of the branch, we insert a check for the variable is alive. Now, only living characters will react to the explosion. No lives need to be taken away. Everyone dies immediately from the explosion, regardless of their toughness. After the gate block, change the variable value from if to false and remove the object from the collision array. Then, start the animation. And after its completion, we remove the object. Let's check what we've got. Everything is working. We're almost done. In the box collision branch, remove the temporary box spawn and go to the enemy spawn branch. Let's bring back the spawn of cubes. Now we will have two types of enemies on the scene. Create a string array. Put two names in it: Enemy 1 and Enemy 2. Choose a name randomly using the random choice block and connect the result to the name channel on the spawn block. Alternatively, you can do the same with the concatenate string block. In the first slot, write the main part of the name, enemy_0, and connect the random integer block to the second slot with a range from 1 to 3. We can stop at this point and take a break. Goodbye for now.